बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। उम्मीद करती हूँ आप सब खैरियत से होंगे। आज का हमारा टॉपिक काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग है, दैट इज़ रिलेटेड टू बिहेवियरिज्म। फ़र्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हम डेफिनेशन को स्टडी करते हैं कि बिहेवियर की डेफिनेशन क्या है। डेफिनेशन के अकॉर्डिंग बिहेवियर इज़ द रेंज ऑफ एक्शंस एंड मैनरिज्म, वे ऑफ स्पीकिंग एंड बिहेविंग made by individuals, organisms, systems in conjunction with themselves and environment. It is a response of the system of organisms to various stimuli or inputs, whether internal, external, conscious or subconscious, voluntary or involuntary. External reaction to its environment is called behavior. Whatever a person does in response to the external stimuli is known as behavior. A specific behavior according to the environment occurs. Behavior is a response of an individual or group or to an action, environment, person, or stimulus. Behavior is everything a person does. Behavior is that can be observed, that can be seen, or that can be measured easily. It can also be defined as a measurable property of an organism that can be easily measured. Moving towards behaviorism, behaviorism is also known as behavioral psychology. It is a theory of learning based on the idea that all behaviors are acquired through conditioning, and conditioning occurs through interaction with the environment. J.B. Watson is also known as the founder of behaviorism. He gave several assumptions of behaviorism. Now, moving towards what is behaviorist theory. Behaviorist theory is described as learning is nothing more than acquisition of a new behavior based on environmental conditions, linking a new behavior to a stimulus by providing reinforcement after the correct behavior is observed or it is produced. Moving further towards the behavioristic theory of learning, according to them, behaviorism is a psychological theory that views behavior as a response to stimuli in the environment. Behaviorism only concerns itself with observable, measurable behaviors, not with internal mental processes or emotions. Moving towards B.F. Skinner, he was one of the influential psychologists during 1930s. He did his master's degree in psychology in Harvard University and he studied in a specific field of psychology, behaviorism. He also gave concepts of operant conditioning. He introduced the concept of how reinforcement can strengthen and how reinforcements can weaken the response of an individual. He introduced the concept of learning through reward and punishment principle. He also gave a Skinner box. He introduced a Skinner box where he puts a rat and pigeons to observe their behavior. Rats in the box with a specific kind of box. It used to be a chamber in which the rat puts the liver, the chamber opens and dispenses food. Initially, the rat doesn't know that if it pulls the lever, the food is dispensed. The rat discovers this accidentally. What he observed, he was one of the what was Skinner's role in the behavioral psychology. He developed behaviorism theory that views human behavior as to responses to environmental stimulus. Whatever a person does is a response of an organism to external stimulus present. What is operant conditioning? A method of learning that occurs through reward and punishments for behavior. The theory was developed by B.F. Skinner, who was a behaviorist. Skinner was interested in objectively measuring human behavior. He rejected the concept of internal thoughts and motivation is involved in behavior. What is operant conditioning? Actions that are followed by reinforcement will be strengthened and more likely to occur again in the future. Operant conditioning is a method of learning that occurs through reward and punishment for behavior. He also gave the principles of operant conditioning: reinforcement, shaping, stimulus, generalization. Reinforcement, behavior that is positive positively reinforced will reoccur. And information regarding shaping is that information should be presented in small amounts so that responses can be reinforced. Now, moving towards the Skinner's theory on operant conditioning, we repeat behaviors that are associated with reward and avoid those associated with punishments. We don't repeat our behavior that are based on punishments. If we get negative outcome, negative consequences, we don't focus on that behavior in our future. Now, moving towards operant conditioning, developing an association between a particular behavior and a consequence. Behavior which is reinforced tends to be repeated. It gets strengthened. If we get positive outcome, we tend to repeat that action again and again. And if we get negative outcome, we extinguish that behavior. Theory of operant conditioning is a process of learning through which organisms learn to repeat behavior, and that is based on positive outcomes and negative outcomes. B.F. Skinner formulated